nanos and how we generally like the new, not an expansion, upgrade, patch. So let's get started. I think we should start out with the new tutorial and how that's changed.
Yes, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
I haven't made it very far because Generator Rex disappeared in the petting zoo.
Right, and that happened actually the night of the tutorial. Everything else went smoothly until that night, and we actually had some issues with that. He's completely vanished. Some say he's went to go fight evils, while others say that he's took a small restroom break.
I heard he was back though, so that's good. I haven't finished the tutorial, like I said, so I'm currently running around with a Fin Nano in the petting zoo shooting giant fusion spawns.
I see. And as far as the null void, the first portion of the tutorial, overall, how was it visually?
It looked fine. It looked a lot bigger than it was, I think. I couldn't get very far, obviously, because they want you to stay in a small area. But it looked like you could have went out and played around, I think. So it looked nice. The gameplay was really linear there. It was go talk to this person, come back to Ben, get a weapon. You started out with some armor. I didn't even get any more armor. But I've heard that the armor from the tutorial is pretty cool looking. I don't like the original one, but maybe as I get past Rex, that would be something.
With the tutorial, do you like the idea that there's more than one player in the actual room? It's not just you and a whole bunch of NPCs. There's actual people around you that you can talk to, trade, and even buddy.
I didn't buddy with any of them. That's just, I don't know. If you've got the basic controls or you don't understand them, you know, you're just walking and stuff, that doesn't really help you. So, as someone who's played the game before, maybe that's cool, but if I had never played the game, it wouldn't have helped me. And I have played the game, and it didn't help me because I didn't use it. And also, I noticed when, like, in an infected zone, I went to area 51.5, the one in the Courage the Cowardly Dog realm, nowhere. I went there today to do a mission that I hadn't done, to try and level my character, my 36. And I noticed that it was a lot easier to do the infected zone with a glide and the dash, because I didn't have to take a jump nano or a speed nano for those little jumps and things that I normally would have had a bit of trouble with. It was a lot easier. And the slow fall, I pulled out a Professor Utonium with Rocket, and the slow fall, I made it almost all the way to Pokey Oaks off the top of the treehouse, just off the ground there, not even climbing to the actual treehouse.
Now that leaves a question out for explorers. Do you think that might be an issue as far as exploring is concerned? Do you think people will use these tools that they have now provided to their advantage?
Well, I know when you hit a wall and you use the dash, or if you're running at a wall fast, you kind of stick to the wall and you don't fall very fast. Combined with your slow fall and a rocket nano, I think that could be abused a lot to just go straight up. I haven't tried it, obviously, but I could definitely see that being abused. And in a game like Fusionfall, where there are a lot of holes that people got into without the slow fall and the dash, I think there's going to be a lot more holes they're going to be finding.
Yes, and another concern is the hoverboards. Hoverboards are already exceedingly fast, and since they have the dash, I know personally I like to hop on my hoverboard, dash, immediately get off by holding down the attack button. It's caused a lot of disconnecting. Do you think that might be an issue or any wear and tear on the actual server itself?
I recall a while back what they did is they had speed hacks, people who were hacking could go faster, and they would kick you off the server if you exceeded a certain speed for however long. What I was explained to me is that if you went too fast too long, they would kick you off. And then when vehicles came out, if you used the speed hacks, you could go as fast as the vehicles, and it wouldn't catch you anymore. And then you didn't need a vehicle, so you didn't have to spend the money, or you could use it inside an infected zone or whatever you wanted to do to cheat the system. And that created a lot of concern for me that you could exploit the system for vehicles, and then now with the dash to fix that, if they're disconnecting because of the system that keeps hacks out, maybe that's a problem that they're gonna have to figure out themselves again, is preventing the hack one more time. As for using the dash on the vehicle, that's true too. You can go a lot farther, and I noticed too, when you do the dash, you don't fall immediately. You kind of go straight.
It's definitely an interesting effect, I would say.
I do like you can dash the different directions though for combat. I got hit. I was doing the again, another mission I never got around to, which was fighting all 3 fusion eds at the same time in their fusion layer in the green maw infected zone, and I got stunned, and one of them used the corruption. I was stunned in it, and I couldn't get out, so I was mashing backwards really fast to try and get out, and I dashed backwards right before it exploded, and I didn't take damage, and I used my heal nano, and I was fine. But I noticed that was pretty fun, and I believe it mentioned that in the patch notes or something, that you could use it to avoid corruption attacks, and I'd never really thought about it because I'd never had a problem, really, except for obviously being stunned, but you're not usually fighting where you can get stunned and under it, so it's a kind of situational thing, I think, but it was something interesting.
Yes, and as far as the NPCs are concerned, overall, how do you like the NPCs, whether it be the ones we have previously seen or the new ones?
Actually, not seen any new NPCs. I saw Lance, Symbiotic Titan, I believe. He was in the petting zoo, right? And I didn't impress me much, but again, I don't watch that show, so I don't know really if he's a cool guy or not. I haven't seen anyone. I heard that Tom and stuff were there in Major Glory, but that was farther on in the tutorial, I believe.
Yes, that was the third portion. And also, with that third section, they also have a couple nanos up for display.
Since we're on to nanos, did you got the 3 new nanos, obviously, the Finn, Generator Rex, and what was the other one, Alien X, right?
Correct.
Did you got those, and how did you like those? Did you enjoy their new emotes and their abilities and all that?
I personally like Generator Rex and also, Finn. Only because me personally having a fascination with Generator Rex, I of course enjoyed Rex. However, Alien X with the whole voice, I did not enjoy too much. I thought it was a little bit too corny, and they probably shouldn't have added Ben's voice for that.
I was expecting either the voices of compassion and war, or whatever, the 2 voices inside of his head. I was expecting one of those 2 or both of them to be the ones talking, not really Ben so much. And I was kind of upset that he got the weakest heal in the game, which is area heal, and he got a recall and a snare, which is just like a slow effect. I mean, so he's got 3 really weak powers for being such a powerful hero in his show.
Overall, what would you rate the expansion first, or I shouldn't say expansion, what would you rate the actual add-in on a scale 1 to 10? 10 being great, of course.
I would probably give it a 5 or a 6. It looks nice, and it's got potential, but 20 nanos over this course of a year, or the rest of the year, that's a little bit lame. There's no new high-level areas, which I kind of didn't like. There's a couple new low-level areas, though, for the training, and there's a bunch of new characters in there. So that's positive that they're getting around to adding the new characters in. A couple new missions with all that. And I guess it's kind of nice that they made the game more dynamic, where it didn't have to go to the future. Now you're just a regular kid that's being enlisted in the army. But I'd definitely give it I say a 6. It's better than I expected. I was expecting it to be horrible completely. So I'm very happy with what I got out of it, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as I think they could do. So hopefully the rest of it will be much better, and here's hoping.
Agreed. I would give it definitely a solid 6. I, however, did enjoy the fact that we had an opening with Generator Rex's voice, and made it kind of feel a little bit more closer to Generator Rex, and then we had branched off into Ben 10, the petting zoo, and then into a third, I guess, arbitrary type of atmosphere where every NPC had been standing. Overall, I think if they would do the full game just like they had done the tutorial, I think we might see a little bit better results. The only thing I feel it's lacking would be one, being able to have some sort of little cutscenes here and there, and two, it would definitely spice up things if we had some form of PvP system. That's what that's my personal opinion on the matter.